Hey Holland Middle, I'm Jada Livingston.
And I'm Jalen Yubara Brandon.
Today is Monday, March 4th, and this is HMS News.
We have the results of our Student Council t-shirt design contest. Due to having 38 amazing submissions, we have not one, but two winners. The winners are Janeth Hernandez and Abby Wilson. Janeth and Abby will receive a free t-shirt of their own design. Congratulations and thank you all to who submitted designs. Shirts will be available soon, so stay tuned for details on how to order.
Celebrations for the 331 students on the honor roll for second marking are currently taking place.
8th graders were recognized on March 1st. 7th grade will take place today, and 6th grade will be held tomorrow, March 5th.
Thank you to the Holland 7 Movie Theater and Christ Memorial Church for donating the treats for our celebration.
Now off to sports.
Good morning, HMS. I'm Irene with a look at this week's sports lineup. On Monday, the girls' basketball team hosts Creekside. The 7th grade starts at 4 o'clock and 8th grade follows at 5:15. On Tuesday, the girls' white teams are on the road at Granville with games at 4 and 5:15, and the wrestling team is on the road at Pinewood Middle. On Wednesday, the girls' red basketball teams are on the road at Hamilton, and the white teams take on Byron Center here in the gym. The 7th grade tips off at 4 o'clock and the 8th grade follows at 5:15. On Tuesday, the wrestling team travels to Muskegon at 4 o'clock, and the swimmers also travel to Byron Center for a 4 o'clock meet. And on Saturday, the wrestlers take part in Grand Haven Invitational at 9:30. Good luck this week, everybody.
Good luck, everyone. There will be a PATH information meeting tonight at 6 p.m. in the Media Center. PATH students receive instructions in math, science, or writing.
Students have a formal selection and qualifying process requiring them to take an assessment later this school year. Email Mrs. Legg with any questions.
Now on to Nurse Lisa.
Hi everybody, it's Nurse Lisa and I have a 1-minute health tip for you. We're going to talk about washing our hands today. It's really important to wash your hands. It's the #1 way that you can keep from getting ill. So I'm going to show you how to wash your hands, okay? So when you come to the sink, you're going to get your paper towel already ready, okay, so that you don't have to touch the handle of that again. You're going to turn your water on to warm and you're going to first just wet your hands. You're going to put soap on your hands and don't put your hands back under the water and wash the soap off because then there is no sense in putting soap on your hands because you washed it all off. So what you're going to do is you're going to wash your hands for 20 seconds. You're going to make sure that you're washing the palms of your hands really good. You're going to be using some friction and then you're going to be washing between your fingers like I'm doing right here. And then we're going to do the tops of our hands really well. And we're going to be doing our fingernails. So I usually just kind of rub my fingernails along the palms of my hands. Do it on both hands. And then don't forget your wrists because germs crawl on your skin. So you want to make sure that you're washing those wrists too where they might have crawled up on. And then after 20 seconds, you're going to rinse your hands by pointing your hands down towards the drain where all of the soap can go down. And then you're going to shake your hands, grab your paper towel, dry your hands really well with a paper towel, and then when you're done, then you turn the handle off because there's a bunch of germs on that handle and you don't want to touch that again. We're going to dump that in the garbage and then we're all set. So there's some really key times on when you should wash your hands: before and after you make food, before you eat, after using the toilet, if you're taking care of an animal, petting it, changing kitty litter, cleaning up dog doo-doo in the backyard, make sure that you're washing your hands. So just remember, washing your hands, even when you see like they're visibly dirty, make sure you're washing your hands. It's the #1 way to keep yourself healthy all year round. Thanks.
Very interesting. On Tuesday, March 5th, the 8th grade choir will be holding their pre-festival concert at 6:30 p.m. in the cafeteria. Come out and see a great show.
Parent-teacher conferences will be held on March 7th from 4:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., March 12th from 12:30 to 3:30, March 14th from 5:30 to 8:30. Please note that March 12th is a half day for students and dismissal will be at 11.
Let's go see art with Andrea.
Hey yo everyone, my name is Andrea Gonzalez Copos, and as you can see here, I'm doing some art. I chose to do art since it's a hobby that I've loved ever since I was little, and I wouldn't consider my art style to be anywhere close to realism. It's much more of a cartoon than anything else. Also, this art took about 2 hours to make. The software I'm using is FireAlpaca, a free download for PC if you ever want to check that out. Whenever I sketch, I start out with some shapes, which, depending on how the pose will go, I mostly use these shapes when creating heads and chest. Once I know what pose I'm doing, I'll start creating the arms and legs, and since I have no idea on how good anatomy works, I create this sort of wobbly character that seems to have no knees or elbows. After, it takes me a little while to start on the actual outlines, since I want my lines to be smooth. Once I'm done making outlines, I start on the part that takes me the longest, coloring. I never use a color palette to work with, so I just wing it and use colors that may look good together. I'm not one for using the paint bucket tool since I really hate the small pixels that don't get colored. And I just make the brush bigger and make a blob of color and start erasing every single tiny speck. I think the only reason it takes me longer is because how I color my drawings, and I don't recommend doing it as much unless you're like a completionist like me or something like that. But once I finish coloring, I move on to shading and highlighting it. When it comes to shading, I don't use darker versions of the color. I use a different color. An example is when shading gray or any color between black and white, I use blue, since I want it to stand out a bit more. Also, because I wanted to try changing the color of the outline a bit, I just added a tint of red to make it extra, like me. One unique thing I do when I shade, I tend to use shapes as another way of having it stand out, like on this drawing. And I decided to add a background because I'm not lazy this time, so it's not transparent. And this is the finished product, so thank you for joining in on me.
That was amazing. The Holland High Jazz Band is looking to replace their keyboardist and guitarist. If you are interested in being a part of the Holland High School Jazz Band, please contact Mrs. Van Oss.
6th and 7th graders will be going on a field trip on April 9th. Make sure you get your permission slips in. Chaperone/volunteer forms are included in the packets that the students are bringing home. Please send forms back as soon as possible.
Now to guess that song.
Hi guys, this is Mr. Orm and we're going to do Guess the Song.
Michael Jackson, Annie, are you okay?
It is called Smooth Criminal.
Smooth Criminal. I knew the person. Yeah, I recognize MJ. I'm down with that.
Okay.
Is this Drake? Kiki? Did I guess it right though? I mean the person? All right.
Yes. Okay.
I'm good with artists. Yeah, the song names are tough. Because I'm old.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say I don't know the song, but I've heard of Post Malone.
It is French Montana Unforgettable.
Oh, yeah, I never would have guessed that.
All right, well, thank you.
Yeah, awesome.
That's the end of this Guess the Song.
That was really funny. This week, the 7th and 8th grade bands will be traveling to Granville High School on Thursday, March 7th, to perform at the MSBOA District 10 Band Festival. This festival will consist of high school and middle school bands from all over the area.
Each band will perform 3 pieces from a panel of judges, and then will have to perform a piece that they have never played before, with only 5 minutes to practice it. The judges will give each band a score from 1 to 5, with 1 being the best. Good luck to all our musicians. Hey Jada, what would you do if you found $1 million?
I'd invest in a lifetime supply of Chipotle burritos. And you?
I'd invest in college.
Okay, cool. Let's see what others from Holland think.
Well, that's all we have for you this week. We'll see you next time on
HMS News.
If you found $1 million on the ground, what would you do with it?
Probably save it. College is very expensive.
I would buy a lifetime supply of McDonald's.
Go to Bora Bora.
Yes! Woo!
I would go to every Grand Slam tennis event.
If you found $1 million on the ground, what would you do with it?
I would buy clothes. I would put it to donation for like lost dogs.
I think first I would help pay for grad school, and then I would take my family on a trip around the world to see a bunch of different places.
Am I invited?
Yeah, I'll take all my students too.
Buy a house. If you found $1 million, what would you do with it?
I'd buy a small island that would flood, the common language, ASL.
Yeah, cool, thank you.
I would probably donate it to a charity.
I'd probably buy a car, buy a mansion, spend some clothes. Oh, and I'd donate some to charity too.
I would probably use it to pay down my kids' student loan debts.